Hello and welcome to another First Descendant video, and welcome to my complete guide to reactors. If you're new to the game, I wanted to go over this simply because a few days ago we got a nice update to the reactors, something we have been waiting for since the launch of the game. This has fixed a major issue with the reactors. There's still one minor thing that I would like them to consider, but I'll not mention it here for the sake of the video and it might confuse people. But anyway, so in this video I want to show you what reactors you need for which descendant, how to farm them, how to enhance them, how to implant guns onto them, and which substats to look for when you are hunting for a reactors, things like that. But I'll just try and keep it simple so that it doesn't overwhelm anybody new to the game. So first up, what is a reactor and what does it do? So if you see over here the reactor, if you have the right reactor, it gives you a boost to your power. And the way you do that is you need to match the descendants skills, the damage dealing skills, with the descendant. And also if you look under the optimization condition, you need to be holding the right type of gun to get another boost to the power. And then we have something called substats at the bottom where it says skill critical hit rate and skill cooldown. Those will also help you with your build. Now these can be different, and depending on how you build, some things will be different, but generally you need all of these things to be working. You need the skill power boost ratio, both the things, to get a tick, and at least one tick in the optimization condition. And when you have that, you get 160% skill power. If you see over at the top where it says skill power 11,724, that is the skill power. You can enhance it further to get even more power. So if you see here, we have 2 enhancement levels. This means 2 enhancement levels. We can go all the way up to 5. It can get expensive, but if you find the perfect reactor with the right mounting and the right substats, you can fully enhance it to get the maximum power from your descendant. Okay, so the first thing we need to know is who needs what. So for example, we have Ultimate Sharon over here, and we look at her abilities and then try to find out the reactor for her. So if we see her first ability, this is Electric Infusion, the cutoff beam. Okay, second ability, notice it's different. This is Electric and Dimension, so this is a different type. Active Camouflage. Third ability is Electric Infusion once again, Frangible Rounds. And the fourth ability is Electric Infusion, Flash Sword, again Electric Infusion. So 1, 3, 4 are Electric Infusion. The second ability is not a damage dealing type. 1, 3 and 4 are damage dealing type. So ideally we want a reactor that gives us more power to these abilities, Electric Infusion, and as a result this is the type of reactor we are looking for. So if we see over here, under the skill power boost ratio, we are getting a tick to the electric and fusion abilities. So we are getting power to that. So this is the right reactor based on this build for Sharon. So you want both those things to get a tick. Now the weapon mounting, by default the reactor comes with one weapon mounting. So you can see here this one has handgun weapon group mounting. So if we go like this, you can see there is, in the optimization condition, there is no tick. It says missed skill power 100%. So you're only getting 100% of the power. But if you hold the right matching gun in your hand, you see it gets a tick now, and the reached skill power 160%. So you always want to have a gun that has the mounting for the reactor. Now what you can do is you can add 2 more different types of weapon groups to the reactor, so that whichever gun you are using at any given time out of the 3 has the mounting. So if you saw my previous reactor, which one is it? This one. Yeah, this one here. If we see this over here, this has a mounting optimization condition for sniper rifle, scout rifle, beam rifle. So I have scout and beam here. If I put a sniper rifle here as well, I don't have. Okay. Now if we have this one here, any one that I hold will give me the full 160%. So this is what you want based on your setup. Okay. Now the way you do this, let's talk about this one here. Let's say. Now you can see this one back again. We have handgun mounting. We don't have a mounting for a sniper rifle or anything else. Let's say we want to add a mounting for a hand cannon. Okay, handgun and hand cannon are 2 different things. So we have a mounting for hand gun. We need one for hand cannon. We go to this workbench over here. We click on Implant Reactor. We select the reactor which will have a tick. This is the one that is equipped right now. So we select this one, and what we need is to feed another reactor that has the gun, the one that we want to mount, that same mounting on it. So for example, this one over here, this has hand cannon weapon group mounting. So you can pick any reactor, ideally pick something that is terrible, that you don't need, and it can be for any other Descendant or any other combination. We only care about copying this hand cannon weapon group mounting. So what happens is this will get implanted onto this. This will be consumed, it will be gone, but it will only keep this thing and add it over here. I wish I had more of these materials to do it live and show it to you, but it's very simple. When you have these two, you click implant, and this hand cannon will be added here, and then you'll be able to use both the original thing, which is handgun, and hand cannon. Now these things are very expensive, by the way, so this comes to our next point, which is only do these implants and enhancements to the reactors that you're very sure about. Like if you go around hunting for a reactor, you find the perfect one, as they say, God roll reactor. If you have that one, then you can focus on fully enhancing it to level 5 and also implanting the guns that you use. So you can have like a beam rifle, you can have a sniper rifle, whichever you use and whatever your play style is. So only do this when you have the ideal reactor or very close to it. Let's say if it's not a 10 out of 10, at least it's a 9 out of 10, something like that. So this is how you do that. As for the enhancement, you simply go into the enhancement section. Again, this is the one we are using right now, equipped, and you increase the plus here to enhance it. Now again, this is also very expensive. The first 2 levels were already in the game. They've added the 3rd level enhancement with season 2, 3rd to 5th basically, and they need something new here called the dimension analyzer, which again requires the precise ion accelerator. Let me start off with something basic. Let's say we want to enhance this one. You need precise ion accelerators, only 5 of them to get to level 1. Level 2 you need 15, so up to 2 levels is pretty fine, is very reasonable. But when you get to level 3, you need 20 of these. Level 4 you need 60. Level 5 you need 140 of these. Now it gets very expensive. So beyond level 2, you need to be really sure that that is the reactor that you really want. It has the perfect sub-stats on it before you try and enhance it or implant guns onto it. That is the expensive part. You can consider this as the late game, end game activity, and only do it for the right reactor. So that is the enhancement and the implanting covered. We already had a look at what reactors we need for Sharon. I'll give you a couple more examples so you are clear on this. So let's go with, let's say, Frena. And if we look at Frena's abilities, we have Toxic and Tech, Toxic and Dimension. This is different. Toxic and Tech again, Toxic and Tech again. So another similar setup here. 3 abilities, the 3 damage dealing abilities are all Toxic and Tech. The defensive mechanism is the Toxic and Dimension ability. This doesn't add damage, doesn't do damage. So what we are looking for is a Toxic and Tech reactor. Now this reactor, as you can see, is fully enhanced. That's why I wanted to give you this example. I have 3 weapon mountings on it: machine gun group, hand cannon, and beam rifle. So you can see hand cannon, machine gun, beam rifle. And this setup works for me in most cases, even against bosses, against the void vessel, and normal mobbing, 400% dungeons. I use this setup most places. So this is why I have this full setup here. Okay, so now another thing I want to talk about. Let's actually try one more example. Let's see VS. So VS has an interesting case with the setup I have. All her abilities with this setup, with this mod, are chill and singular, all 4 of them. And because all 4 of them also do damage. So what we have is a frozen singularity reactor. Again, don't worry about the name. Look at the skill power boost ratios, chill and singular. We're getting boost to both those things. And we have 3 weapon mountings on this as well: beam rifle, tactical rifle, and machine gun. So, and I have also enhanced it to 3. Okay. Now this is a strange one because this reactor is primarily one for Haley, but it can work with VS as well. I have been looking for a reactor for VS for Colossus, okay, which basically needs different substats, but I have found one which is, I would say, a 9 out of 10 reactor. So this one here, additional skill attack when attacking Colossus, and then singular skill power boost ratio 0.76 times. So that is the one. I'm looking for a slightly better one than this, like the chill singular skill. If I can get that in gold as well, that would be a 10 out of 10 reactor. So I'll maybe do a quick run to show you how to farm reactors, but this is almost perfect. I need slightly better, and then I can fully commit to that one. Okay, so this is the reactor. Now let's actually also talk about the substats, because that is something that can be confusing. So reactors come with different substats. Okay, so if you see this one here says fusion skill power boost ratio and skill cooldown. This one has additional attack versus Colossus, singular skill power, skill critical hit damage, skill effect range. This has skill range and cooldown. This has tech skill power and singular skill power. This one has singular skill power and skill critical hit damage. This has critical hit rate, duration, and so on. So what are the ones that you should look out for? I'll just give you a general idea, because this is very specific to a build that you are doing. And for me here, I would like to get, like I said, this is not ideal for her. I would like to get singular skill power, and perhaps critical hit damage would be fine. So something like that, or just chill skill power and singular skill power, both those boost to those powers would be good. So let me just show you a general idea of what you can discard when you are looking for. So these are the different things that you would have on the reactor. Obviously you want it to be matching your descendants. So for example, this one here, chill and singular. So if you get a singular skill power boost ratio, that is good. But if you get a tech skill power boost ratio, that is useless for you with this build. It can be useful for a different build. So have the second one on this skill power boost ratio thing, the one with the tick. Ideally the second one is very useful, and then the other role can be something else. Okay, so if we look again here, so for VSA I want chill and singular. Chill is not that important because we're already getting mods that give us a lot of chill. Singular doesn't have a lot of mods to give you more power, so that's why we want as much of it as possible. The other things will depend on your build. For example, if I want to lower the cooldown, if I want to increase the duration, hit rate, hit damage, then these are for the other descendants: non-attribute, fire, chill, electric, toxic, fusion, singular dimension. These are the second stats: fusion, singular dimension, tech, and these are like the main ones: fire, chill, electric, toxic, and non-attribute for the different types of descendants. So I have all these selected. I have selected them in gold because this is my junk setting. Anything below that I don't want to keep. And then you can skip HP heal modifier in the substat because that doesn't help much. Sub attack is basically your melee attack. Again, it's not used. You want additional damage against Colossus if you are building a reactor for fighting the Colossus. And you can skip this one, the additional attack against the different legions. There are three main factions of enemies that you run into in the open world. You have the Legion of Darkness, Order of Truth, and Legion of Immortality. These are not worth it on the reactor in my opinion, and also not worth it is skill cost. So you can see I have this as dismantle and grayed out. So this is not needed, and these two are not needed, and these three. You can skip these others depending on the descent. For example, if you're looking for a VSA reactor, you will get chill power boost ratio. You won't get fire, electric, and toxic on a VSA reactor. This was the update that we got recently, because this used to happen up until 2 days ago. So now if I'm going to find a reactor, a farmer reactor for VSA, I'll only get the chill. I won't get fire, electric, or toxic. However, I would still get one of these. We want the matching one. So for this reactor, I need singular. So if I get chill and fusion, that's not good for me. So I'll have to keep looking. So this is the other thing that I said I want them to fix as well. But for now, it's not that bad. Okay, so hopefully this part wasn't too confusing, because the substats can get a bit confusing. So I've covered the type of reactor you need. I've covered implanting. I've covered enhancement. I've covered the substats. Now let's look at the main thing, which is how to farm for the right reactor for your descendant. And it is actually a pretty straightforward thing. What you need to do is go to the map with the G, click on difficulty level reverse, make sure it's on the hard difficulty. And then over here, you select the descendant and the sort of skill. So you need chill and we need singular. And it shows you this here, the storage. So if you click on the storage, what it's saying is if you do any missions in this part of the map, you'll get reactors for chill and singular. So let's go here, pick a mission and run it quickly and see what. Okay, so we are in the storage area of the map. We have to start this mission and I'm thinking we should probably stop the dog from. What we'll do is we'll stop the auto dismantle because my dog is very fast. He may even remove everything before I have a chance to look. So what we do is we just do a quick mission and try to see if we get a better reactor. See, these golden stars that you see on the ground, these are the reactors getting picked up. So let's just quickly do this mission. Yeah, I have to stop the dog from dismantling because he can be very, very fast at doing that before I even have a chance to look. Because most cases, you will end up dismantling most of the reactors. Like I would say, most cases, if you do a couple of runs, you might have one good reactor that matches your criteria. Otherwise, everything gets chunked immediately. Because I have kept things very tight. I only want gold rolls on the reactors. So that's why most would get deleted. You can keep the purple ones if you're not being too strict with the criteria, simply because it's too expensive to enhance reactors and put implants of guns on it. So that is the reason I'm trying to be very strict with only getting gold rolls and things like that. You can see a bunny has joined, so perhaps they're also farming for reactors. Okay, there it is. This is the mission done. Let's go in a corner and see what we got. This is corner enough. Okay, so let's see. We got this one here. Fusion, skill, power, boost ratio, and skill cost. Again, we need singular. We got fusion. That is the other minor thing I was saying earlier that we don't want. Now, this is a different type of reactor. This is a toxic phase reactor. This could be an option for Keelan, but we also don't use this one. Then we got this here, a singular skill power boost ratio and skill cooldown. Now this would have been good if both the things would have been at least purple, or gold would have been even better. This one here, fusion, once again we don't want fusion, we want singular. We got cooldown in gold, which is good, but again the second ability is useless. This one here, skill cooldown, additional attack when attacking Legion of Darkness, Legion of Immortality, we don't need that. This one here, tech skill power, again singular is what we need. We are getting tech, so you can see we're still getting a lot of trash reactors there, and this is a purple reactor. So by the way, another side note, with the purple reactors you get a maximum of 140% power. That's why we use the gold reactors. And also the other thing is, these don't require a mounting, so you don't actually have to have the gun in your hand. You only need to have it in one of the 3 slots. That is the difference between equipping and mounting. Now this one has, again, not particularly good. Cooldown, sub-attack is just useless. Additional skill attack against Legion of Darkness, skill cost, both those things I don't really need. So these are all completely useless, sadly. So we'll have to do this over and over 5-10 times until we get something decent. So that is just an example of how to farm for reactors. I'll select this one so that the dog can get rid of all these reactors that we picked up. And my dog is very, very fast, so I have to disable it, otherwise he would have already dismantled all of this before I could even, get a chance to look at them. So that is the reactors in a nutshell. Hopefully this was useful, and hopefully I did not make it too confusing. I tried my best to keep it simple, but yeah, that is all you need to know about the reactors. And once you get the basics down, you can find the right reactor for your right descendant for the build that you're running, and it will give you good power, have the right guns, and you can get the most out of it. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a reactor to farm the Infernal Walker. And so what we are looking for is basically this one here, but with slightly better stats. Like I said, this is a 9 out of 10 reactor. I'm getting additional skill attack versus Colossus in gold, and I'm getting singular skill power boost ratio in purple. If I could get that in gold as well, then that would be a 10 out of 10 reactor, and then I can fully invest into that as a VSA, a bossing reactor. Yeah, see, this is the problem with the game. The moment you open the inventory, enemies will spawn up. Okay, so that is it. Okay, Hopefully this was useful once again. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know. See you in the next one.